Namo Buddhaya. Salam kebajikan. May peace be upon us. To start our agenda, please kindly take a moment of silence to pray. Amen. A very good afternoon and welcome to our campus, Universitas Kristen Duta Wacana, Yogyakarta, for the Interfaith Dialogue, Issues and Challenges Faced by Higher Education in Indonesia. As a collaboration event between United Board for Christian Higher Education in Asia and Universitas Kristen Duta Wacana. Allow me to extend our warmest greeting to our eminent speakers and guests, the Honorable Father Patricius Andalas Jesuits from Sanata Dharma University, represent Catholic religion. Reverend Andika Trisubowo from Center for the Study of Religions, Universitas Kristen Duta Wacana, represent Christian religion. Professor Dr. Al-Makin from State Islamic University Sunan Kalijaga, represent Islam religion. And Dr. Samsul Ma'arif from Indonesian Consortium for Religious Studies, represents indigenous religion. Also the Honorable Rector of Universitas Kristen Duta Wacana UKDW Yogyakarta, Dr. Ingviatiningsih, who is also accompanied by the Vice Rectors of Universitas Kristen Duta Wacana. The Honorable United Board's Trustees, the Honorable President of United Board for Christian Higher Indonesia, our remarkable staffs of United Board from all over the world, and participants whom I cannot mention name one by one. Thank you for being with us here this afternoon. This collaboration effort happens to foster a better understanding of religious diversity in Indonesia. Today, we have packed sessions. We will talk about issues and challenges faced by higher education in Indonesia, as well as interfaith dialogue as experienced by students. And now, let us start with the welcoming remarks. Without further ado, we would like to invite the Rector of Universitas Kristen Duta Wacana to deliver her welcome remarks. Please welcome Dr. Ingviatiningsih.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Honorable guys, first of all, I would like to express our gratitude to United Board of Trustees, the President and all United Board staff that joined this meeting, and also the invited panelists, Frater Patricius Mutiara Andalas, Reverend Andika Trisubowo, Professor Dr. Phil Al-Makin, and also Dr. Samsul Ma'arif, and also invited guests, ICRS Management, also Rectorate and students from Universitas Sanata Dharma, Universitas Atmajaya, Universitas Islam Negeri Yogyakarta, and also from Duta Wacana Christian University. And also from all the participants and colleges that I cannot mention one by one. Thank you very much for your join in this meeting, in this discussion. It is a great honor and privilege to welcome you all to this roundtable discussion on interfaith dialogue. As we gather here today, we are reminded of the immense diversity that enriches our nation, Indonesia. Our country is a vibrant mosaic of cultures, languages, and religions, each contributing to the unique tapestry of our society. The theme of today's discussion is particularly timely and significant in an era where global and local tensions often arise from misunderstanding and miscommunication. It is imperative that we come together to foster mutual respect and understanding among different faiths in Indonesia. With its pluralistic society stands as a beacon of hope for how diverse communities and coexist peacefully. Our discussion today aims to explore the reach of diversity of religious beliefs in Indonesia and to find common ground that can unite us rather than divide us. We are here to celebrate our differences and to recognize that these differences do not make us weaker, but rather they make us stronger. By engaging in open and respectful dialogue, we can build bridges of understanding and comparison. We are honored to have with us today a distinguished panel of speakers who bring a wealth of knowledge and experience in interfaith dialogue. Their insights will undoubtedly inspire us and provide valuable perspective on how we can work together to promote harmony and tolerance. In closing, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks for all the organizers, all speakers, and participants for making this event possible. Your commitment to promoting interfaith dialogue and understanding is truly commendable. May our discussion today give the way for a more harmonious and united of Indonesia. Thank you very much. God bless us all.
Thank you, Dr. Ingwiatiningsih, for the welcome remarks. Following next, we will follow the remarks from Dr. Parina Lawrence, the President of United Board for Christian Higher Education in Asia. Please welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. We are delighted and honored that you have welcomed us to share this afternoon with you. We look, our trustees and our staff members that are here, we are looking forward to the discussion today. Thank you, Rector, for inviting us and for hosting this wonderful event. And also thank you for our AACM program that you were part of hosting for our network and the institutions that are part of it. Without our partners, such as Duta Wacana, it would be impossible to carry out the work that we do. We are a small organization that promotes and supports Christian higher education all across Asia. But the only way we can do our work is through our partner institutions, through institutions like yours that help serve as resource institutions, that help provide your faculty to participate in our programs, and we are truly grateful for those opportunities, so thank you. I'll be very brief in my remarks here. There's so much for us to learn from Indonesia, how you manage and how you navigate interfaith, multi-faith conversations, how you promote that in your daily lives, that you can be a role model for the rest of the world that is struggling with religion and how to just get along together as people, as individuals. So there's so much to learn, and we just look forward to this opportunity. Again, thank you so much for hosting us. It is such a privilege and honor, and I speak on behalf of all our staff and our trustees in thanking you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Parina Lawrence, for the welcome remarks. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, continuing, we will start our panel discussion. Allow me now to invite our moderator and also the panelists who are present here. So please be invited to the stage our moderator, Reverend Devina Widiningsi. She is Old Testament Biblical Lecturer of Faculty of Theology, Universitas Kristen Duta Wacana. Our first panelist, Reverend Adhika Tri Subowo. He is Old Testament Biblical Lecturer of Faculty of Theology, Universitas Kristen Duta Wacana. The second panelist, Father Patricius Andalas Jesuits. He is lecturer at the Faculty of Religion and Education and Sciences of the Catholic Religious Education Study Program, Universitas Sanata Dharma. Our third panelist, Dr. Samsul Ma'arif, the head of Master of Arts program of the Center for Religious and Cross-Cultural Studies Graduate School, Universitas Gadjah Mada. And the fourth panelist, Professor Dr. Phil Al-Makin, Rector of State Islamic University Sunan Kalijaga, who is still on his way. So Reverend Devina Widiningsi, I will hand over the session to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mbak Rosa. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How are you today? Good, thank you. Okay, so in a moment we will start our discussion. So we have two sessions. The first session, so before we start, I would like to share how we will run our discussion today. So the first session will be the panel discussion. So in this panel discussion, we will have 45 minutes to listen to the panelists here, the expert here, to express their views, their ideas, their thoughts about the question that I will pose. So, and at the end of the session, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, we will, I will give opportunity, very limited opportunity to participants to maybe ask question or state comment from the discussion before. But don't worry, because the second session, the participant or the student will be given more free time to share, because in the second session, we will have around 45 minutes to listen to the experience, to ideas and thoughts from the student about their experiences in interfaith dialogue or interfaith relation. So, is it okay? Shall we continue this discussion in this way? Okay. Okay. So, today we will have a discussion under the theme Interfaith Dialogue, Issues and Challenges Faced by Higher Education in Indonesia. So, talking about interfaith, it seems that Indonesia has a positive impression in the eyes of the world regarding this matter. One of the validating evidence is that here, this very event where the UB came all the way here, I guess to see, to listen, and also to learn about how we as Indonesian make this interfaith dialogue or relationship can do well. So I guess I'm quite sure the very first thing that they are, and also maybe the world, really curious to know is about what is our secret, like what is the factor that maybe as an Indonesian, the panelists can share about the factors, things or values that influence the interfaith can work well in Indonesia. I invited maybe Dr. Samsul Ma'arif can share your thought first about this.
Sure. Thank you, Reverend Devina. Good afternoon. Thank you very much. It is an honor to be here and to share. Just directly to answer, to respond to that, so proud to be Indonesian, due to the fact that I think we have great civilizations from all over the world. So the history that we have in Indonesia was that we have Indianization. We have a very deeply rooted culture from India. We also received, inherited Chinese culture. It's a very long history, we have that. We have also westernization and also Islamizations. So there are some scholars like Denis Lambert, from a French anthropologist, who noted that among the reasons why Indonesia is such a place for many things to come together and live together, because historically speaking, it has been like a place for any kind of things to grow. And so that is, I think, what I'm proud of, that we have that history that we are willing to share, to learn. We are willing to accept and also to give. And that has been preserved by many developments, including religions that have come to Indonesia. And by the way, all religions that we recognize are all imported religions. Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, Confucianism, they are all imported. But among the very good things that they have contributed have been, to continue the Indianization, the Chinese expansion, Islamization, and also Westernization, to share, to enrich us. And I think that is what we have. That is what we have learned. I want to start with that to see why we come to engage. We come to be able to engage varieties, diversities, given the fact that we have so many ethnic groups, geographical setting is so complicated. But like what we feel today, even like today, I come from Sulawesi, come to here, if I go to Papua and then to Aceh, for example, whenever I met them, it's so easy to recognize we are brothers, Indonesian brothers. It always comes to that point. And as a scholar, I have come to think about that, like what do we have? And among the explanation that I have encountered was that the history that we have is about engaging diversity. Living together has been part of our historical life. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. So, Dr. Samsul Ma'arif stated about the historical background of Indonesia that really helps and really influence how we can, because we came from the diversity, so we can live with diversity, right? And I will invite maybe Romo to share your thoughts about this. You can also share your thoughts as maybe, you can add the Christian value behind, maybe yes, thank you.
Yeah, a couple of decades ago, actually there is a Malaysian theologian, I forgot his name, but he talks about religious neighborhood. So we are religiously neighbors to each other, and it happens also with not only religion, but also with culture, with race, and other factors that shape our society. I myself come from a family that is religiously diverse, and it also happens with many Indonesian families. And there is something that is deep within us as Indonesians, that we welcome religious diversity. So religious conversion, for many of us, we can accept it easily. So if a big family gathers, it is quite common that there is not only one religion there, but several religious people we can gather and we are at peace to each other. So that is something that probably Mr. Ma'arif mentioned before, that there is something deep within us, so that religious diversity is part of our Indonesian DNA. And it makes us also, help us also to cope conflicts that may happen along the way in our history, where there were conflicts, religious conflicts, that if I can paraphrase Pope Francis' statement, that there are more that unite us rather than disunite us. And for me, it is an experience of Indonesia that something that unite us easily make us close to each other, and that is why I just want to underline the fact that in Indonesia, religious neighborhood is part of our life, and it also extends to other spheres of life, such as cultural, also that we are racially different, and also other differences that we have as Indonesian. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So actually, we cannot, because we live in that, with that differences, so we have no option not to live with it, right? So because the interfaith dialogue and interfaith relation is about how we can accept and live with the difference. Maybe another thoughts, and Reverend Adhika may add some more about in this point.
Yeah, thank you. So we know that in Asia, multi-religion is one of our contexts, right? We have, I think, 5 contexts. Aloysius Spirit said that we have 2 important contexts about religious diversity or multi-religious and poverty. And Andreas Yewangu, ex-head or chairman of Persekutuan Gereja di Indonesia, added 2 more contexts in Asia about suffering and injustice. And then Pastor Karel Erari added 1 more context in Asia, the ecological destruction or ecological crisis. So multi-religious is one of important contexts in Asia, and it will be opportunity, but it will be challenging. So in Indonesia, know that we have a harmonious relation in context of multi-religion. What is the key? I think one of the key, based on my experience, is because a local wisdom. In my experience, in Java we have gotong royong and other local wisdom, and I think in other places in Indonesia have a local wisdom other, and it is the key for harmonious relation in multi-religion context.
Thank you for adding that we need to support each other in order to live well together, right? And for the maybe Professor Al-Makin can also state your thoughts about this. What is the factor that you think makes us as an Indonesian can successfully have the good interfaith dialogue or relation?
Thank you very much. My apology for a little bit late because I had art exhibition. I have painting exhibitions. And my exhibition will close tomorrow with the title also Interfaith paintings. Okay, well, to be perfectly honest, we cannot claim that Indonesia is absolutely successful in terms of living or coexisting with different faiths and religions. We are still learning. Yes, in some areas, we see that we can avoid a fatal conflict like what happened in the Middle East, because the majority of Indonesians are Muslims. That is striking similarity between Indonesia and Arab countries. But in terms of this, we are successful. We are still one nation intact. We are not in the state of war. Yes, we are successful. That is in the one hand. But on the other, there are many to work. We are still struggling. Particularly the concept of diversity is still far from reality. The government of Indonesia so far acknowledges 6 religions only. Islam, Christianity, is Catholicism and Protestantism, Hinduism, Buddhism, and uniquely Confucianism is acknowledged as a religion. But religious life in Indonesia is much more than 6 religions. Within the 6 religions, there are so many groups, so many denominations, so many religious organizations, so many people with a different way of prayers, so many schools of Islamic law, for instance. And outside the 6, there are so many groups not included in the 6 official religions that they can also claim as independent religions besides the 6. So in this regard, we might say that we are still far away. We need Indonesia. We need to formulate what is diversity according to Indonesian reality. So we are not yet grasped what is diversity based on Indonesian experience and Indonesian reality. Indonesia is much more than the 6 religions and much more what our fundamental principle or state ideology Pancasila. Pancasila is need to be reinterpreted based on the new finding and new study. That's one thing.
So reinterpreted the...
Yeah, but I don't think I should talk about the dark side. We should also be thankful for the good side. One of the things that we should understand, Indonesians take religions seriously in our life. We are very serious about religions compared to Europe or Australia or United States or somewhere else. Even compared to Malaysia, we are much more serious in having religion, in practicing religion, much more serious than Singaporean, and perhaps more serious than Philippines in holding our faith. This is a good thing because it means we are ready to understand other religions. We are ready to experience from our own experience of performing or practicing or observing our own religions to another religion. This is like a door to understand another religion. Because if you don't practice religion, you cannot understand, you cannot experience how to become religious. But most of Indonesians influenced by our faith, not only in our religious life, but also in economy, in politics, in social life, in the structure of our society, inspired or influenced by religious faith, religious belief. That is, I think, one way to enter a religious dialogue. We should experience based on our experience in observing our religions. But it can also become obstacle, as we have seen. Because if we hold our religion seriously, we might disregard other faiths. You know, other faiths lead to hell, for instance. That is very common, to believe or to divide the world into black and white, to divide the world into paradise and hell, and so forth. By experience, I think for Indonesians, we should increase friendship among different faiths. And it's also challenge. It is very hard, particularly in Java, to imagine what happened outside Java, because we have so many islands. Living in this island is different from situation in different island. For instance, in Eastern Indonesia. Eastern Indonesia is quite different, because let's say in Kupang or in Manggarai, another island, or in Papua, Muslim no longer majority, but Christians, or in Bali, for instance. In Bali, Hinduism is a majority. Or in Medan, for instance. Medan is in Sumatra. That is different situation too. It's more diverse. The diversity is quite different from what happened here in Java. That is another reality. And I think the highest form of understanding or dialogue or communication among faiths is collaborations. And I don't think we reach the state of collaboration among different faiths in Indonesia. We are still in the level of tolerance. Tolerance is the minimum, the least requirement of coexistence. Collaboration, let's say, is the highest, and tolerance is the minimum, the lowest requirements of living with each other. And Indonesia, so far, still hold that tolerance is still the best. Tolerance is letting others to do whatever they want, letting others to believe whatever they believe, letting others to practice their religions, whatever they want to practice, to hold prayers in church, in mosque, in vihara, in temples, etc. But we need much more than that. We need commitment to protect each other. We need to understand each other seriously based on the perspective of the believers. And this is still far from Indonesia. Yeah, we are still struggling. I think that's what I would rather say. And I think it's quite realistic.
Yes,
thank you very much.
Thank you so much that you spill the tea, right? Because I want to ask this after, but Professor Almakin already shared the whole story. I mean, the real story that maybe generally world sees that Indonesia is success in having a good relationship, interfaith relationship, but sorry to disappoint you, we are not yet. Because, there are so many cases, intolerance cases, that now rising in numbers, right? Even not in Indonesia, and also in Yogyakarta, also rising in numbers. So I would like to also hear from the other panelists. Maybe you can share your thought about this. How about the intolerance cases that happens? What do you think as the biggest factor, major factor that can, that can make us do the intolerance or do something that really hurt the other, or we state the other as enemies. I guess Romo Patricius Mutiara can start.
Thank you. I think all of us believe that Indonesia is our common home for many and even all religions. And I would like to respond to your question more introspectively, that sometimes pursuing Catholic identity may cause us to have less harmony with religious others. I guess there is a tendency for Catholic Church in Indonesia that we really emphasize Catholic identity, whether in schools or in other institutions, and it may create kind of a subtle way of looking at religious others as a threat, although not always articulated. But my research on this theme is it is interesting. Actually, in the past 6 months, I did research in certain areas of Java, and it is about the declining numbers of students at our Catholic school. And it is interesting that the sisters who run the school invite prospective students from other islands who are Catholics in majority to go to school in Java. But for me as a researcher, I do not see that it is a sustainable solution for this. For me, the solution should be making parents who have non-Catholic sons and daughters to go to our Catholic school. So the party that will influence the death and also the life of our Catholic schools are Muslims, first of all. So if we cannot live in neighborhood with religious others, our Catholic school will not survive. Yeah. And so probably there are some studies that emphasize, for instance, that there is a hardening in religious identity, for instance, among Muslims. But I do not buy this idea. I see it, the hardening is on the part of Catholics.
We harden each other? No?
Yeah. The way we understand Catholic identity, for me it is quite poor. So I propose that in order to strengthen our Catholic identity, we need to mainstream social friendship with religious others. Only in that way of paradigm, we can be sure that our Catholic school will survive, that our Catholic community also will survive among other religious communities. So that's my kind of theological position.
Thank you, Romo. Yes, so I guess Dr. Samsul Marif also have thought about this one. Yeah, a lot, right? I know you have a long, yes, you can, please.
Thank you. Now we are talking about the challenges. I'm representing, she said, I'm representing indigenous religions. So if I look at religions from indigenous religions, the challenges are in the religions. The way we study religions, the way we promote religion, it's very exclusive. And so what is strange from the perspective for indigenous religion followers from religions is that if we are Muslim, if I am Muslim, I cannot be Christians. that is strange to the followers of indigenous religions. If you are Christian, you cannot be Muslims or you cannot be Hindu. You cannot have two identities in terms of religions. Our history, indigenous religions, many could come, let's share the good. What you have as a good things to contribute to us, let's accept it. But indigenous religions, as colleagues have said, are not recognized as indigenous religions. They are categorized as culture. And so when our colleague talks about local wisdom, that is what we actually have. That is among the reference for indigenous religions. We still have that. Here in Java, we have so many practices like rituals, annual rituals. When we practice that, many religions could come. They could come together. Unfortunately, they are not categorized as religions. They are not considered to be interfaith dialogue. Those practices are not perceived to be interreligious dialogue. They are cultural. So among the obstacles or among the practical hindrance, issues that we face for this is that religions have also gone to be very exclusive in developing identity. And that is also the reason why indigenous religions are not accepted as part of the religious politizations. So identity has been also part of the politicization, and religion is playing very important role for that. So as a representative representing indigenous religions, that is the challenge. We have a lot. I mean, if we use indigenous perspective, we have hundreds now in terms of organizations that have registered as indigenous religions in Indonesia, or they have just recognized it. They have just, the government have just recognized them, almost 200 now, indigenous religions who have registered, in Indonesia. Have a lot. I mean, if we account them to be religions, what we would see is that our life is basically, practically speaking, has been interfaith dialogue. Because those religions, the way they practice their religions, indigenous religions, are social friendship. Social friendship is religious. So everyday life has been that. And so the challenge, to emphasize the challenge is from the mind, the way we think about what religion is, and then the way we use it in practice. We take it as a very exclusive identity, and that separates us. We were relational, related to one another, religions. I'm not talking about these colleagues, but religions.
We will talk about it later.
Religions have separated us. The way we teach it, the way we practice it. And to me, that is the very challenge, the big challenge.
Thank you. Not to make the exclusive identity and politically, to make our identity political, something like that, right? And maybe from the perspective of Christian, may Reverend Adhika add some more?
Yeah, in Christianity itself, we have so many denomination or sects, right? And it is so important to take awareness, to understand to the other. I remember that with one of theory from Henning Brugman about interculturalization. Henning Brugman say that intercultural encounter is very important for us because intercultural will make person have a new paradigm. It is like a two circle A and circle B. When circle A meet with circle B, that we shade, right? Shade it. And when it separate, will be A with a new paradigm. paradigm with shaded, A shaded, and will be a B shaded. So I think encounter is one of key for harmonized relation in multi-religions. In Christianity, I remember with Jesus in a story of Samaritan in Luke 10, verse 25 to 37. At the end of stories, Jesus said, "Who is your neighbor?" And someone answered, "Who show what is that? Compassion. Mercy. Who show mercy?" So all of us can be neighbor for us, not limited with culture, not limited with ethnicity, and not limited with religions. Yeah.
So the concept of neighborhood, right? How we can share our mercy towards each other. So now I would like to move on to be more specific, because now we are discussed in under the theme the higher education. So in addition to the representative of the religions, our expertise or our panelists here also represent their universities, I guess. So I would like to start with Dr. Samsul Ma'arif from UGM, Gajah Mada University, or you can say CRCS. Specifically the state university. So can you share about how is the atmosphere of the interfaith relation, interfaith dialogue in UGM or in CRCS, you may say, what is being done, what is being attempted, and maybe at the same time you can also tell us about a story, not about the successful story, but maybe obstacle or problem also.
Thank you. Yeah, from CRCS, so UGM we have two, CRCS, the Center for Religious and Cross-Cultural Studies, that is the MA program in Religious Studies, and also the second one, the ICRS, the Indonesian Consortium for Religious Studies. Yeah, the Indonesian Consortium for Religious Studies, which consists of UGM, this one, Christian University, and also UIN, the Islamic States University. So, so what I'm going to share is the way we work on the MA and PhD program. I think from the beginning, students come to our program, it's clear that they come for dialogue. They come to engage diversity. They come to see and deal with challenges. We have our vision and mission very clear that students, I think, before coming to our group, they read that, so that our mission is to, very ambitious, to contribute to the democratic life, democratic, inclusive, and amazing Indonesia. To deal with challenges on that issues. And so from the beginning, we talk to the new student, the candidates, how much they are willing to engage diversities, how much they are aware of issues in terms of interreligious relations, intercultural relations, even gender, and so on and so on. And so after they come, we start with like orientation, and in addition to academic exercises that we offer is also about, we discuss about safe and convenient environments, which include sexual harassments, bullying, and so on and so forth. And so that is what we discuss. And so bringing students to the very basic points of who we are to engage a new life in that. And so we of course receive some challenges, but we are willing to gather, to deal with that. And that is of course under the awareness that we come from different backgrounds, we come from different religions, And so that is the place for different religious groups of students, Christians, Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists, even atheists to come, Indonesian and abroad, to come engage dialogue, engage religious literacy, religious scripture, narratives, discourse in that situations. And I think we have received some challenges in terms of accepting some a very strong theological belief or intellectuals, in our forums. When we, for example, engage the discussion in class, we receive that, we have that. But from the beginning, I think our students had prepared themselves to receive that. And in addition to class, what we think to be so transformative is that outside class engagements. So we have a lot of exercise. We have management here and also students from CSS, they may also share. So the transformative, the very transformative factors that we have in terms of engaging interreligious faith is the outside class. Lecturers, faculties open their houses, for students to come to share life, and also activities with communities. Community engagement is part of our study. Facilitate students to really see issues and also engage issues, live with that, for them to to challenge the personhood as a students and also as a persons. I think those things, that's the way we manage.
So the interfaith dialogue is not only as a subject in the school, but you try to make or help the student to engage in that thing.
That's what we have been trying. And so we have class engaging the literature, the discussion, the history, and so on, but also live, the real life. That students are engaging themselves.
That's really great. How about in UIN, Professor Al-Makin, is there any differences? UIN is the Islamic State University. Maybe you have unique as way to do that?
Thank you very much. Let me put in the broader context of national context. We have 3 issues. First, the level of knowledge of other faiths. That is the first issue. The second issue is experiencing other spirituality. And the third is friendship with different faiths. These 3 issues I think is urgent in our system of education. Why? Because officially students have no opportunity to get knowledge of other faiths, no opportunity to experience other spirituality, and no opportunity to make friends with people with different faiths. Our system of education is quite close from the elementary school to university. We are not allowed officially students to enter in a class in different faiths. Muslim cannot learn Catholicism or Hinduism or Buddhism officially. And no Buddhism, Christianity or Hinduism are allowed to learn Islam officially in the class. So that is our problem. So our knowledge of other faiths is very limited, very nationally, in the national level, from elementary school to university. Secondly, we also give no opportunity to experience other spirituality. There are so many issues in the media and social media. Any Muslim who enter church or temple or vihara gets trouble because they are judged in the public that they already apostate. They expel from Islam, excommunicated. And friendship. it's very little friendship among different faiths, particularly in Java, for instance. Java, the majority are Muslim. It is very hard to find other faiths, so students have very limited opportunity, if there is any, to make friends with their colleagues or their friends with different faiths. That is the reality.
So we need to do something about the system in our education.
And in Sunan Kalijaga, our university, we try to do this with public. We try to do innovation or breakthrough with the public performance. For instance, during the celebration of Idul Fitri is the biggest celebration of Muslim after fasting month of Ramadan. We have invited not only Muslim leaders, but leaders from 5 other different religions to come to give their insights. What is the comparison between Idul Fitri and Christmas or Vaisak or Nyepi? Nyepi is a Hindu celebration. And that's, I think, attract a lot of attention, not only inside campus, but also from the media. Oh, that is a very bold movement. Yes, indeed, we have to be courageous. We have to be bold in grabbing the symbol in public. Symbol is very important in Indonesia. If you make a bold statement or if you make a symbolic gesture in public that interfaith is okay, interfaith is necessity. We need to communicate with different faith. We have to understand faith of different people in public. That's what we need. And another thing is, I think, is ethic and norms. And example, of course. Example from leaders who really open to different faith, but is consistent not to use interfaith dialogue for political purpose. Or he is really consistent with this example and is quite straight, not, get into dirty game or something. That is also important. So we need leaders, we need figures in public that we could easily understand and people could follow.
So the leadership is still mattering.
Leadership
in our
indeed matters in Indonesia.
Thank you. Thank you so much. How about in Sanata Dharma, Romo?
Yeah. First of all, I would like to mention Holy Hills at Berkeley. Yeah. It is a school where I learned religious diversity. 2 of them are here now, Jeffrey Kwan and Boyung Lee, 2 of my former faculty there. I took several courses at Pacific School of Religion, where the 2 of them taught there. So at Sanata Dharma, I actually learned from many places how about to design an interfaith religious education course for all students at Sanata Dharma. So previously we invited all religious scholars from each religious community to give 1 or 2 courses about the religion at our campus, but we changed the module. Rather than presenting each religions and invite scholars to come to each class, right now we try to find common issues that all religious communities, including also keyakinan, of course, to contribute to the discussion. For instance, religion and existential search, religion and body, religion and science in the digital, in the big data era, and also religion and citizenship in Indonesia. So those are common issues that all faith communities contribute to the discussions. And we are indebted to non-Catholic students who come to Sanata Dharma University, because we really learn how to be Catholics by welcoming them. And how often, for instance, because I design the curriculum, that it is still very Catholic. But I always make sure that there are enough space, enough time for them to contribute to the discussion by realizing that there are more voice on this issue. And it is why each voice is so precious in our religious education class. And we try to, from my part, for instance, to read religious leaders from other faith, for instance, Buddhism. I try to read several books by Ajahn Brahm, and also some Hindu leaders, contemporary, and Islam also. Probably I still take kind of a safe adventure, Pak Makin, for instance, because I use some books by Esposito, for instance. But at least there are efforts to make our religious education class more and more ecumenical, more and more interfaith. And it is a journey that it is always make us happy at the end of the semester when students, especially religious others, that they enjoy the class. They don't feel that Catholic identity is so strengthened in that religious education class, but more fraternal friendship and even universal friendship are emphasized mainstream during these classes. So that's the experience of Sanata Dharma, and if you have time, please visit our campus.
Yes, promotion. Yeah, thank you so much, Romo. And I also believe that our friend Adika also would like to share about what happened in UKDW or PSSA.
Yeah, UKDW has a many study center, and one of which is Pusat Studi Agama-Agama or Interfaith Study Center. What the PSAA does, so we have research, living, seminars, publishing, book translation, and intensive studies. We have a routine intensive studies was conducted in 2000 under the name City Studi Intensive tentang Islam, Intensive Studies of Islam, and City has been running for 14 years and has produced 40 batches with 300 alumni. But in 2017, City developed into SITKI, Intensive Study of Christian Islam. I have some picture, but because our time is limited, so I cannot show my picture. But in 2024, on 5 to 10 August, PSAA have a project collaboration with the Center of Spirituality Studies, will be an inter-spirituality school. Participants will be invited to live in Pondok Pesantren Rumi, Sanggar Sabto Dharmo, Vihara Mendut, and Hari Krishna Hindu. So through PSAA, we will develop encounter, interfaith, and I think it will be important keys for harmonize. Thank you.
Experience the other, right? Thank you so much for all the panelists. So now it's the time that I would like to open, like the very limited, maybe one question or comment. You can address. I guess you can raise your hand and also come or move to the microphone and then address your comment or what is it called? Question, I'm sorry. Comment and question, and then please use short, concise, and clear sentences because of the time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for this wonderfully and also informative panel. And Father Andalas, I have a very fond memory of you in my feminist theology class in Berkeley. The question is, I happen to work with women students from Indonesia who are working on Indonesia peace building from feminist perspective. They talk about femicide, that a lot of these religious violence victims are women. And also, they are the ones who also try to make a peace on the ground. So all of you mentioned that the structure issue, the structure does not allow people to have that the leadership model, but on the ground, women are making peace and also dealing with their trauma from those violent experiences. So some of you mentioned like a Catholic nuns in Java, and then people making friendship, even though there is no structure. So how, and also a lot of interreligious dialogue. Those of us who work in that area, the leadership discussion can sometimes be very abstractive, but the people on the ground, they're living next to each other, working next to each other, are making actually practical interreligious peace building work. So I wonder how those practical wisdom or local wisdom, as the professor said, is informing your interreligious curriculum or dialogue, so that this curriculum is not abstract, but is really lived experiences coming from the ground.
Thank you. I guess one more question, and then we will. Sorry, only 2 questions. I'm sorry. For other, that one, and then thank you.
Thank you very much. As a board member of United Board, I am delighted to be a part of this conversation. This topic of multi-religiosity, interreligiosity, is one that is very, very close to my heart. Having been born and raised in Malaysia, and for the last 7-8 years now, in the United States, I have been a co-convener of the National Buddhist Christian Dialogue, and so this is a topic that is not just intellectual, but very, very much one in which I was born and raised in. And it is so important, as our professor from the State Islamic University say, we are all in so many different countries in the world. United States is not a Christian country. United States is multi-religious country as well. But wherever we go, we are still seeing the kind of interfaith work that we are doing is very much still at a tolerance level without much knowledge. And so education has an important role to play. How do we enable citizens of the world to learn about one another so that we reduce the fear of the other in terms of our religious identity? How many of us actually visit the religious sites of the other as part of our living? So it is important, and I appreciate the conversation, but I also want to encourage educators to find way to go beyond just tolerance and actively working to dismantle. We have a lot of challenges. I hear your challenge within the construct of Indonesia not allowing the learning of the other. We have to find a way to break through that.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the question and also response, comment. I mean, any of panelists could comment? Like,
okay.
To make it short, please.
Okay.
Can you? Okay.
Thank you, Professor Boyong Lee. It is interesting, for instance, if we talk to university students, that the issue of not only insecurity toward their bodies, but also self-harm and also suicidal attempts, they are subjects that they want to bring during religious education class. And unluckily, some faith communities consider them as taboo issues to discuss. And then that's the advantage of having religious diversity class, because then other students can contribute, can enrich the discussion. In my religion, we discuss this issue like this. And probably it can promote also similar discussion in your faith community. And the second one, thank you, Father Reverend Jeffrey Kwan. It is true that the experience of others can solve religious illiteracy that sadly we still have many in our congregation. Sanata Dharma, different from Islamic State of University, Christian, Duta Wacana University, we are not considered as Catholic university. And it is for me a great way of how people appreciate us, that it is a university that welcomes all. And the experience of the other will, I guess, solve many of the problems that we have now between us, religious communities. Because once there was a case in the city that some fundamentalist group will attack our campus. And who defend us? Non-Catholic alumni. They are the one who say to our president, we will defend Sanata Dharma. It is because of the experience that we try our best to welcome them as religiously neighbors. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the compliments. I think we should start in Indonesia. It's very simple and easily understood. Like we should not question whether Muslims are allowed to enter church or whether mosque is open to non-Muslims. That is still heated discussion in our public. And that is, I think, very sad. And that is not even reaching the level of tolerance yet, still far away. If we still discuss in public, Muslims are allowed or not to enter church, or whether mosque is open to non-Muslims. And just recently, we have heated discussion about whether Muslims are allowed to convey Shalom, Namo Buddhaya, or Om Swastiastu. Whether they excommunicated or they no longer Muslim when they say that, it's still hot discussion. It means even in the minimum condition, tolerance, I don't think that we already there. So that's why I think what we need in Indonesia, we need to be bold, we need to be courageous, to come in the public and grasp the symbolic, the symbols that convey mutual understanding, interfaith tolerance, and so forth. It's still urgent in Indonesia. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the responses. Now, as I explained before, I will open the second session. So we will hear more from the student here about the experiences that you may have or you may had in living together with other religions or in interfaith relation or interfaith dialogue. So I will ask some question, and then if anyone wants to comment, please raise your hand and then come or move to the microphone, and then you can state your comment there. So I would like to make this, let's break the ice, right? It's very cool here, so I may not sit here. If it's okay for you, I will go here, there, around, somewhere there. And we will start our second session. It's for the student to freely expressing their experience. Okay? So, can I have, no. Please, the panelists, please, can you be, still be here? Thank you so much.
So we should stay here?
Yes, thank you. You need to hear as well, right? Yes. So, thank you so much, Funani. So, student talking about, thank you so much, interfaith, interfaith dialogue, interfaith relationship. Can you share or share your thought about the interfaith itself? What do you think about interfaith? It is something mandatory, it is something important or necessarily, or actually we don't really need to live with interfaith. Anyone want to share? How do you see, or how do you consider the interfaith itself? Is something just academically discourse, or I don't need that, I can live by myself? Or what? Yes, please. Yes, after that.
Cek, okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Irfan. I am from ICRS.
Okay,
Yeah. Actually, I come from Islamic background. Very huge because I'm from Sharia. Yeah. From my undergraduate until MA. When I come to ICRS, I don't have any knowledge about how should to be engaged with as religious studies. So from the first beginning, I learned how, from not the first beginning, but from the admission, IMB asked me, what do you want to, what is your goal to join this? Because I want to know, my background is still Islamic so far, but I want to know the other perspective. So I learned many things, such when we talking about canonical. We have every religion has canonical. So when we talk about something, we see from multi perspectives. Such I worked for many years about what we say marriage, but only from Islamic perspective. So from the other perspective, I know. So when I take for my dissertation, it's about interfaith marriage. I not to just what we say justify anything. You are not correct because our nation is forbid about conduct interfaith marriage. From this, I know how our interfaith dialogue and interfaith life is so big, so huge to avoid. But we can grasp, we can encourage one to other. So for me as Muslim, for me as I'm also lecturer in Islamic State in Yogyakarta, I can enlarge and I can share my experience you are live not only in Islamic State, you are not only in Islamic community, but you live in the broader community. From Indonesia,
Thank you.
yeah.
So interfaith dialogue,
Yeah.
you can get something from there, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
you
yeah.
can also
Yeah.
learn a lot
Even
about that.
even from canonical itself. Before I can read, I'm sorry, biblical or whatever thing, but from this, I can alert and also strengthen my knowledge about
Thank you,
this.
thank you. Any other thoughts about this one? Yes, please. Yes, you can also go up over there.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies
Good
and
afternoon.
gentlemen. I'm Naomi from Universitas KRISTEN Duta Wacana. After joining this interfaith dialogue, I got the point that all of us live in the different religions, but we make how we can make the diversity become the unique time. It means like from this event, I learned that all of us have the different religions, but all the religions teach us to love each other. We have the right to have the freedom to choice, and I think this dialogue teach me, and I can share from this dialogue. I can say or share to my friends, bro, sis, let us agree to disagree. What it means? It means like from right now, not everyone can agree to our opinion, but we can agree to the disagree opinion. Thank you.
Is that easy? While waiting the other. So if you have something to say, just go, move, find the microphone, right? So is that easy? Monica?
Naomi.
And Naomi, I'm so sorry. Naomi, sorry. Is that easy to do that, Naomi? In your experience?
Okay, in my experience, I think it's not easy, of course, because we have the obstacle, we have the challenges, how we can share our opinion, how we can build the comfort zone so that don't have the conflict, of course, because this is the sensitive conflict.
Right.
This is the differences, but I think to discuss about this, the first one, the tips from me, let's take the comfort place. Let's find out the topic that all the students or all the people can share their experience, but don't judge about that. Just receive and listen well to them.
So to make it more easily, you need to build the comfort zone together, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, you can. You may. Waalaikumsalam.
Wait, get?
Yes.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Salam sejahtera, namo buddhaya, dan salam kebajikan. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ahmad Ilham Zamzami. My university is Islamic State University of Yogyakarta. I was born as Muslim and in the pesantren environment, specifically in Nahdlatul Ulama environment. So I want to share for you all about my experience to how to adjust and get some idea and how Islam make sure about dialogue interfaith. Let me see. I was studied about Islamic theology in pesantren, specifically in Sidogiri and the Al-Azhar University, Cairo. So from that, I have some verses that I think that bring Muslim to inject and dialogue interfaith with other religion. It's in the Surah Al-Mumtahana. لا ينهاكم الله عن الذين لم يقاتلوكم في الدين ولم يخرجوكم من دياركم أن تبروهم وتقسطوا إليهم إن الله يحب المقسطين. Allah doesn't forbid you from dealing kindly and fairly with those who have neither fought nor driven you out of your homes. Surely Allah loves those who are fair. For the first, there are two meanings that can be interpreted, namely that Islam has built inclusive and tolerant relationship since the beginning of its existence. And my experience about the dialogue interfaith with the monk of Coptic Christianity in Egypt, when was Ramadan 2018, someone from the Baba or the pastor of Coptic here on the street and casually distributing takjil menus to route to Muslim. So eventually I got off the city bus and was interested in talking to the priest. I asked one of them, "Why are you and your congregation distributing takjil to the Muslim community?" He replied, "This is proof to you and to the world that Egyptian people are like the people in Indonesia, who accept differences and live tolerantly with each other. And we are also Egyptian, although we have different religion, but we live in one country and one language, and that is what unites us." Something like that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So you find the verses that encourage, and also you experience from other religion that also you find that other religion also have the value in interfaith dialogue, right? And what makes it work. So anyone else about this issue? What do you think? What do you consider? What is the value that you think important or not important? You can say something unimportant too. Yes, thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Matthew Albert Christian, and I'm from Sanata Dharma University. But, well, it's true that I'm from Sanata Dharma University. I've come from a very homogeneous study program, which is a Catholic religious education study program. And it is mainly open just for Catholic students. And in this sharing, I will tell you about what I think in our religious study program. So, as its name suggests, our study programs rarely seen any other students from any other religions who observe other religions. And I think it's a very limiting experience for me. But through various occurrences, I found myself a value that I think this is a common ground for every religious education from any religious group, mainly that it is about giving a set of values of life for the students. And these values of life are meant to be lived on. But how can a value of life to be lived on if they are not practiced? So, religious education must also accommodate experience. Thankfully, in our religious study program, there is this one course that accommodates interfaith experience, and with Father Rukianto Jesuits as our lecturers. Actually, just a few months ago, our juniors were taken to every shrines, temples, and even Borobudur temples and various of mosques in Yogyakarta, and there they are asked to meet every religious leaders to have this religious dialogue, interfaith dialogue, to ask and answer anything they want to be asking. So, and their stories are really inspiring. They have this very positive experience in this program, and I think this program also can be our source of inspiration in how we conducting our religious education in schools or universities going forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So since you share about what happened what did you do or with your friends in the program of the university. So I would like to move to other question because here the students are representative from the 4 universities. So I would like to hear more about how the interfaith program or interfaith dialogue, or how is your university doing in this issue. Can you share some stories about that? And maybe can you share some story? Not only successful story. It's okay if you can. You also want to share something that your university tried to do, but not really successful. Or maybe you can share your experience yourself in the life of university, with the curriculum, with the relation with friends, with the relation with the lecturer, and any other. Anyone maybe want to share about what happened in their university regarding this issue? Yes, please.
Check.
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Allow me first thing first to introduce myself. I am Hendra from Atmajaya. My experience about the interfaith, I think it's when I joined the student exchange, helping the program of student exchange in Atmajaya University. On that time, we are going to meet the, let's say, kejawen believer on the Menoreh Hill. There was almost incident happens there. My bike almost fell to the cliff, and on that situation, I have a girl behind me from Gorontalo. She was also a Muslim, and still be a Muslim, I guess, because I never met her again. On that time, last thing that I expect that happened on me is someone pushed me down to the cliff, because I am on the edge of the cliff already. But I get pushed down by the girl from Gorontalo, because she doesn't want to touch by another different mahram.
Yes.
She said. So I angry to her, and I said, how could I imagine an erotic mind or something in the even of that? I mean, yes, okay, it's your fate that maybe it's your fate to could bring you to the heaven to use. But your fate also bring me to your heaven. Actually, I don't want to that yet. I mean, so
what do you? Yeah, how?
Yeah, in the end, when finally there's another one who's helped me, and after that I asked him to help me to marry the girl on the top, so we can safely go to the bottom, and after that we go to divorce. It's just a kidding, but it's happened, and the witness is in front of you.
Yeah, okay. So that also happens, right? It's not only a very nice story about how we can relate well.
And because about interfaith.
Are you still angry about
Not
her,
really, but it's just silly, I think. But when you ask about the interfaith experience, I think between Muslim could be say as interfaith, because in Indonesia context, Muslim could not see as a one face, because the Islamization in every tribe, in every indigenous people, result as a different acculturation. That's make our view about the Islam and how we do the Islam itself different. For an example, I am from Borneo Island, so there is only not Java that has Islam Abangan. But in Borneo Island, no matter your religion is, if you are the indigenous person, you still respect the jungle. And you still imagine that the jungle is heaven of your ancestor. In Java, jinn is considered as enemy. Jinn or spirits.
Spirit.
Yeah, but in my place, the spirit is considered as my ancestor. So when we go to the forest, we just, hey, come every jinn that in this place, we could eat together. Yeah, so it's more like, more than interfaith, I think more interrealm. Thank you so much.
Yes, extend the interfaith to interrealm. Thank you. That's very, very, very interesting. Yes, you may share about, I guess it's from Duta Wacana, right? Yes, what happened in Duta Wacana? What are we doing here? You need to, no, it's okay, not only successful story. But if there is, please share.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Miss Devina. I call you Miss, okay? Yeah, I am Esther Nurhana Kusumawati, Esther Nurhana. From my name in Indonesia, that even names have a religion. So when I meet people, they say, you are a Christian or a Muslim, you have Nur. Is this a Muslim name? And then Esther, like Christian or Catholic or something about Christianity. But I am still Catholic right now. Still Catholic, I don't know from the next year.
We don't talk about future.
Yes, okay. Yeah, I am a student from Duta Wacana Kristen University and also junior high school teacher in SMP Stella Duce 2 Yogyakarta, Catholic school, Romo. And then, as a student, I joined Interfaith community, Young Interfaith community from 2019, November 2019, and we worked in Interfaith dialogues and then Interfaith movement like World Interfaith Harmony Week. We also joined the activities such as we cook with different religion, and then we do student interfaith peace camp twice a year. And yeah, years by years, day by day, it's not easy to share about the interfaith issues because it's a big challenge for young people to talk about interfaith. Because if I reflect my journey in interfaith movement from 2019, a lot of students want to talk about interfaith, but years by years, the number of students has decreased. Yeah, I remember when I joined YIPC, it has been 2 classes, around 60 students, but in 2023, only 18 students. So I see that, is it not attractive issue for young people, for students, maybe about interfaith, and then I guess maybe how we talk about interfaith, is it too serious for young people, or it's not just easy like war takjil or something like that? Because I see that now in higher education, the students want to talk about something that easy, not too hard, not too serious, and religions, interfaith become a serious topics for some case. Just like in pendidikan agama Kristen in Duta Wacana Kristen University, it's fun, but not all students will like, well, I like this subject and I want to do more about related to this subject. I want to go to Vihara, I want to go to the church and something like that. It's not like that attractive for my friend, but for me it's still great issue that we need to talk about, because when I met new students in student interfaith peace camp, and then when I teach my students in junior high school, I still found that a lot of young people need to influence by interfaith relation. It is truly need, because when I talk with them, just like, do you want to go to the mosque with me, or do you want to go to the vihara to meet Sangli and the others? And then you say, I'm scared because maybe they will judge me, blah, 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 and something so on. It's still, but they don't want to do a meet, don't want to do a dialogue, because I don't know, maybe there are a lot of cause this what do I say, phenomenon like that. And then besides that, even its challenges in Yogyakarta specifically, it's still there are a lot of movement that we as a students do in our activity related to the other campus, like YIPC is the ICRS organization from 2012, and then become independent organization in 2014, and always do a lot of works in interfaith dialogues, and such as in this year in Ramadan, I forgot what months Ramadan in this year, we do the March or April, yes, I guess March or April, yeah. We do the interfaith dialogue between the higher education students with the junior high school students. I think it is interesting moment, because the 20s, yeah, maybe 70s until 20s young people, and then with the teenagers talk about interfaith, and maybe it can be inspiration for the other university and the other young people community to do it. Because I, as a person that have a multi-religions, need to meet the other with heart. That's not only a dialogue, but with heart dialogue. If we just do a dialogue, we came to debate. But if we do the heart dialogue, I guess we can find the meeting point that, yeah, I know you and you know me, and that's not a problem. We have a conflict, but we don't need to do violence to respond to conflict, just like that. And maybe, yeah, there are more story I can share, but
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. So
Okay, thank you,
many
Stefina.
things that we can, yeah, so I guess from for this generation, it's not about the topic, but how we conduct the topic to make it interesting and to make it attractive, I guess. So the last thing before we wrap our discussion, I would hear more from the student, maybe one or two or three, if you can make it short, about the message or suggestion, or what is it called? Recommendation that you can say, or you can for the education or for our university, maybe in Indonesia, or you can say globally, because it's here, the UB here also globally. Maybe some of you want to say your suggestion or message. What should the university does in this issue? What is our flaws that we didn't see? Yes, please.
Cik. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sorry, my name is Ahmad Nanang Nur Fadilah. I'm from Islamic States University of Win Sunan Kalijaga. Sorry because my English so bad, so I will use Google Translate.
Yes, please.
I want to share
Mine too.
actually
Don't worry.
I want to share my interesting experience when I was a student at United States Islamic United States of Sunan Kalijaga at UIN Sunan Kalijaga, I joined Simple Iman community even though at first I was afraid because my background was in a Salaf Islamic boarding school which was not used to interreligious. However, SIMCHE is a Simple Iman community, a combined community of three faculty theologies of three university, UKDW, University KRISTEN of Duta Wacana, Universitas Sanata Dharma, and UIN Sunan Kalijaga, taught me that this diversity is inevitable. We are very used to discussing the theology of these three religions, action, living, social, coffee, football, and so on. Yeah. And now we are collaborating to write a journal together. Me, Avicenna, Andung from UKDW, and Frater Linus from Sanata Dharma. Let's just relax and become class friends. This trip made it clear to me that this diversity and inclusive awareness is still a collective task that still has a long way to go and needs to be promoted. Just that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes, any other thoughts or ideas about this and messages for university and university board because they are watching us. We need to say something.
Hello. Okay. I'm from Atmajaya, Yogyakarta. My name is Keisha Devana Suganto. I would like to say something regarding of the proposed solutions, that is the dialogue, and then the issue that has been addressed, that is the conflicts that happens in the Indonesian background. Right. I question why then Indonesia is overly emphasizing on the idea of dialogue when in reality, just because you have dialogue does not mean you go above tolerance or even reach tolerance in itself. I would argue that just because you agree to disagree does not mean you reach tolerance. So I question then, what's the kind of solution that could be done by Indonesia, especially in Indonesian curriculum, that isn't just dialogue inside of the class, but to be able to be bold, to induct the policies that happens economically and politically to protect minority religion and to protect people who have different religion in the first place. I think the discussion that happens in Indonesia itself should not really happen towards the diversity of which religions and what happens in each religion is what kind of values that they believe, but exactly how are you able to enforce identities in the context of politics and in the context of being able to get that right, to be able to express religion itself. I think the discussion should not move, I think the dialogue should move there instead of actually saying what your religion is. That would be my suggestion, to not be overly emphasizing on one type of dialogue, but also the type of dialogue that actually inducts change.
Thank you for the brave point. So the transformative dialogue, I guess, not only just saying, but to do something, to change something, to transform something. Thank you so much. Also, any idea? Maybe? Yes, oh, I'm sorry. Yes, please. Maybe after that, one more. Oh, sorry. This is the last. Thank you.
Yes. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce myself. My name is Bram. I'm from Duta Wacana Christian University. So I'm a Muslim also. I'm a medical major right now. So there's some conflict in me, and that's also can be a suggestion to our interfaith dialogue right now. So we are Indonesia, especially Indonesia, we live in diversity, but it can also lead to to miscommunication. It can lead to misjudgment. It can lead to miscommunication. So how do we overcome it? So I have a method that my lecturer taught me that we have to use empathy to communicate with other people, especially a different religion. So I have an experience with my friend. He's a Catholic. One day he invites me to his dinner, and he accidentally gave me a pork that is forbidden in my religion. But I can mad at him right now. I can rage. I can mock him. Why did you give me pork? But instead, I wouldn't do that, because if I say that, that will be inappropriate. That will be hurt him. I can break his heart. He cannot trust me to be his friend anymore. But instead, I said, "Oh, it's delicious."
But did you take that?
Yes.
No. Yes.
Because I don't know that's a pork.
Did you know? Yes, yes.
But the point is, we have to use empathy, or else we can lead, or else we can make other people not comfort with us. If people would not
breaks
comfort
our relation, right?
Yes. If people not comfort with us, people will not having a nice with us. It can lead to miscommunication, misjudgment, and can lead to conflict. Conflict lead to catastrophe, and can lead to destruction. So my suggestion is to use empathy to communicate with other people, so that people can understand us and we can understand them.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the sharing the experiences. So, ladies and gentlemen, student brothers and sisters, we come to the end of our discussion. I would like to express my gratitude to the panelists that with their expertise, they share about interreligious dialogue that really reminding us that actually the tolerance is just a bare minimum, right? We need to do more than just tolerance, but also work together, live together, and also do something together. And we believe that our panelists also try in their position to do something about the system of our education. We need to change our system of education and make our education be more environmental friendly in having the interfaith life. I mean, not the dialogue. And also thank you for all the students that bravely express or share the thoughts. I know it's not easy for you because English is not our first language, right? But you really bravely share and engage in this discussion. May we continue to maintain all of these good things, and we can live together harmoniously. So, as a moderator, I apologize if there are any flaws in this discussion. I hope that it's not diminish the beauty of our discussion today. So, henceforth the following session, I will hand up over to Mbak Rasa as MC.
Yeah, okay, check. All right. Thank you very much, Reverend Devina, for the delivery and to maintain this amazing dialogue this afternoon. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, appreciating this insightful discussion today, United Board would like to give token of appreciation to Universitas Kristen Duta Wacana. Therefore, I'd like to invite to the front Dr. Parina Lawrence, President of United Board for Christian Higher Education in Asia, to give token of appreciation to our beloved Rector, Dr. Ing Wiatiningsih. Thank you so much. We really highly appreciate it. And please stay in the front, Miss Parina and Miss Ning, because United Board and Duta Wacana Christian University would like also to give token of appreciation to our 4 panelists, which will be given by Dr. Christian Merck, Chair of United Board Trustees, together with a certificate given by Duta Wacana, especially from our Rector, Dr. Wiatiningsih, to our 4 panelists. So please stand up to our honorable panelists. And also to Reverend Devina as our beloved moderator. Thank you for the great delivery. Yes, please come to the lower level. We can start, Dr. Chris, we can start from Reverend Andalas, Father Andalas Jesuits. Let's give applause. Thank you very much for your sharing. And the next one will be to Reverend Adi from UKDW Yogyakarta. And the next, Dr. Chris, would you please give the token of appreciation to Dr. Samsul Ma'arif from CRCS Gajah Mada University. And the last one to the rector and artist who are still having an exhibition of painting. Don't forget to visit Professor Dr. Phil Al-Makin from State Islamic University, Sunan Kalijaga. And now, Ms. Ning, as the rector of Duta Wacana, would you please give the certificate to our 4 panelists and also our moderator. The first is for Dr. Samsul Ma'arif. Thank you very much. Okay, and the next is for Professor Dr. Phil Al-Makin. And the next for Father Patricius Andalas Jesuits. And the last one, Reverend Adika Tri Subowo from Universitas Kristen Duta Wacana. And of course, one more for our moderator today, Reverend Devina from Universitas Kristen Duta Wacana. Shall we have a photo together with Dr. Chris, Ms. Parina, and Buning? Thank you very much. We will have a group photo for all of us, but before that, besides me, we have Reverend Spurgeon, on behalf of United Board, would like to deliver her grateful remark. So the time is yours.
Thank you, Rosalind. On behalf of United Board, we also express our gratitude to all the universities. And I see that we have representation from ICRS, Sanata Dharma, Atma JEA, and the Duta Wacana, all the universities. So we thank you, and we see all the vice rectors of Duta Wacana and the rector. You are always very helpful and very supportive to United Board's work. Thank you so much. And once again, we thank the panelists and the moderator for leading this panel. Thank you. We also thank all the students who have come here from different universities. Thank you so much appreciated. We enjoyed your sharing. And this is a place where we have learned a lot and you have contributed for our work. And I'm sure that in the future also we'll continue to collaborate with you. And thank you once again. Maybe we'll have a group photo together before we go for a coffee. And maybe you can interact. All our trustees are here, the officers of different universities. Maybe during the coffee, we can interact with one another. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rep. Spurgeon. So before we go to the free communication or contact with one another, please have a photo together. Our photographer, Mr. Andrew, will help to arrange. So please, our 4 panelists, probably you could come forward again. And for our Board of Trustees, 4 can sit in the chair. For those who cannot or find difficulties to go the ladder, you can sit over there. And then some people will standing behind them, and the rest could go to the stage.
Oke. Oh gitu ya, iya saya bisa. Besok terakhir. Ya, Pak.
Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rosalind Maria on behalf of the organizing committee would like to extend our appreciation to all of the panelists, moderators, and participants who joined us today. So now we have free time. If you'd like to interact each other closely between audience or even have a little conversation with our guest from United Port, please welcome. So thank you for coming to our university today. We will see you again next time. Thank you. God bless.